You need to have an online presence.
You're going to be stuck doing all those things forever the slow way.
Because you can put a roof on in a day, it doesn't mean you should expect your marketing to work in a day.
It's a constant thing.
Hot take number 1. Good, better, best is a crutch. The best roofers don't give options, they give a recommendation.
So if you're not providing options, you're providing them an ultimatum, essentially, right? People don't like to get sold to, and they definitely don't like to get backed into a corner. So give them some options, give them some ideas to kind of work with, and let them decide, you know, after you do your job and actually explaining the differences between all the different options, let them decide what's best for fitting their needs. And like obviously as sales professionals, we have to help guide them and show them like why certain things may not be a good fit for that. But end of the day, like I like being able to provide options to people. Brian, what say you, sir?
I think of it like going to get your oil changed. They check everything on your car, the cabin filter, the engine, like all that stuff. And they'll bring in the cabin air filter and say, look, you're supposed to be able to see light through this. You can't. You've got leaves in here. Standard one's $11, but you get one that's even, charcoal, whatever, for $29. So it's like I have no idea what to do when it comes to an air filter on my car. I don't even know there was one until you showed me. Thank you. Now I have these options as standard, or I have the best option. But I think to take it a step further, I wouldn't label them best, better, good, or good, better, best. I would label them your own proprietary packages. So it seems like nobody else can offer that package but your company. And I know you've been doing this too, John, where you don't say this is the best package. You say this is like the premier or the platinum or whatever you want to call it for your company. So the whole reason they should be calling you out is because they don't know where to go next. They don't know what to do next with the roof system. So if you're not offering those 3 different tiers based on like the minimum, this is a minimum you should have in your house. And then here's what most people go with. And then here's the last roof you got to worry about, the forever roof or whatever you want to call it. So I would say that it's your job to do that, to provide the options and to provide the knowledge and the solutions to the problems.
Yeah. Okay. I like it. Great first question, y'all. We did have somebody pop into the Q&A here. It's Preston with Torch Roofing. John Starr, you might remember him well. He wants to know if you guys
Never forget a handsome face.
you heard that, Preston? All right, looks like he wants to know if you guys use a virtual assistant, and if so, how do you incorporate them into your business?
Brian, I started the last one. I'll let you start this one, dude.
Yeah.
You got a
Um,
way cooler shirt on than I do, man. Look like a cowboy.
this is my favorite
Wow.
Cool haircut.
favorite shirt. It's even got snappies, see?
Yeah,
That's
dude. Throw snaps are
And it has a Superman t-shirt underneath, see?
awesome.
we love it. Love it, love it.
Okay, so John Delorier turned me on to a book called Your Class Assistant, and you basically want to categorize the activities that you do into 4 different boxes. One is things you're good at and things you like doing. The other one is things you're not good at but you like doing. Things you're terrible at and you don't like doing, things you're terrible at and you do like doing. So it's like there are certain things that you're really good at. There's certain things that you are wasting your time at that someone else could probably do way better. So I would go through things like pulling a permit, paying for a permit online, scheduling inspections, ordering a Eagle View or a measurement, generating a quote template, scheduling projects, scheduling material deliveries. Those are all things that I don't want to do anymore because I have more important things to do with my time. That's like, $50 an hour stuff. I need to be doing stuff that is $1,000 an hour. So you take all these things that in your drudgery zone and you give them off to your VA. How do you do that? So virtual assistant is obviously virtual. They can't stand behind your shoulder to watch you click all the buttons. So what you do is you get a Loom video account, go through each individual task, and you talk through it. In this video, I'm going to show you how to pull a permit in the city of Denver. And you say, we go to this website, we use this login, we click here, use the company credit card or whatever to pay for the permit. It's going to get sent back to our info at Mod Roof Group or email. We're going to grab that, stick that into the files in the project in ProLine. Boom, it's done. And then that's the one video you make for that one task. So that's searchable. You don't want to do one video with like 25 tasks in it. because you want to be able to break it up. Because if they're stuck and they don't remember how to do that, they can just go to that one video and just take 5 seconds, watch it on like 1.5, and then get a quick refresher. You could do like a start to finish video on like lead intake, creating the contract or the contact, creating a project, booking an appointment, going through the quote templates, all that stuff as one long video just to give someone like training as an employee or something like that. But for VAs, I would do all that, the stuff that you don't want to do anymore, that you're not good at, or you just, it's wasting your time. So sorry for the long answer, but
No, that was a great answer. I especially like how you're able to kind of break it up into that 4 kind of a quadrant box. I forget what that's called, but I remember learning about that like in science class way back in the day, like a
yeah,
Pelham square, a Punnam square, or something like that. Do you remember?
sure. Let's go with that.
Yeah, excellent. Perfect. Did you have any follow-up questions on that, Preston? If so, feel free to just kind of pop them into the Q&A there and we'll get right back on it.
Brian sums it up pretty well. But I have 3 VAs. And basically, I mean, just like Brian said, I mean, all the stuff that like I don't feel that my time is being, well spent on, or the things that I don't enjoy doing, I'm just gonna give it to them. Like I don't need to be registering warranties for roofs that we install. Like they can do that. I don't need to be doing like lead intake or anything like that whenever we have a web form get submitted, or somebody contacts us on Google or Facebook or whatever. They can handle that stuff. Like I don't want to be the one creating social posts or anything like that. Like they can handle that stuff.
You just want to be starring in them, you
And
know?
absolutely. And end of the day, like I'm too darn busy to be messing with some of the things that I've offloaded to them. But then I have another VA completely separate from the first 2 that I have with another agency that literally just handles like anything and everything that I want to implement in my CRM. So he kind of like he knows ProLine better than I do. Which is, I know, unworldly to think of, but this guy is absolutely fantastic, and he's really helped us implement some really, really cool stuff. And
What's his name?
Jorge, or
Jorge.
JC for short.
Love it. Excellent. Okay. Who do you guys recommend people use for that? Preston had a follow-up question there.
SMA Support's a great one. They're pretty roofer specific. They do a lot of training through the CRMs that all roofers use. So ProLine, of course, and all the other ones that will remain to be mentioned.
I'll give you the sauce, dude.
Nice. Uh-oh. It's ProLine Mafia right there. Awesome. Thanks, Preston. If you have any other questions, feel free to pop them in there. We love answering questions live. It's way more fun that way. He said, thank you, John. All right. Next hot take. If you can't put on a roof with your own hands, you don't understand the business well enough to run it.
No, I disagree.
I'm kind of split.
Ooh. Yeah.
I'm gonna agree and disagree all in the same breath right there. But we'll let Brian go with why he disagrees.
I disagree because it's all about putting the right people in the seats on the bus. So just because I don't know how to build a CRM doesn't mean I don't know how to like hire someone to use it for me. It's like, I'm pretty sure maybe like the CEO of a fast food restaurant does not even know how to put a meal together if you stick them in the store that they, so it's kind of like that. Like you can run a business, and the purpose of the business is to make a profit and grow and take care of customers, honor promises you're making. There's a lot of things in the business that you may not know how to do. And that's why you hire people. That's why you hire a VA to take over stuff that you don't want to do anymore. It can go for stuff that you don't know how to do, but you hire for those specific jobs. I need someone to get this result. Can you get us that result in the company? Yes, I can do that. And I've proven that through this experience and all that kind of resume type stuff. But I think you have to have an awareness. Like you can't be, have the wool pulled over your eyes, I guess that the saying is. But I mean, that's why you have the right people around you that can look out for the company and look out for you. And it's kind of like a team effort. If you try to do it by yourself, you're never going to accelerate. So,
Right. Time for your half in, half out answer, John. What are you thinking?
Yeah. I think that just because you know how to put a roof on doesn't really mean that you know anything about the other sides of the company and things. Like the part that actually keeps your business growing and things, right? You could be the absolute best installer in the world, but also be the absolute worst business owner. So I'll kind of, I do think it's important to know how to do it and have done it a handful of times. But do you need to be like the absolute best at it? Heck no. I mean, I know that I have very little experience actually doing stuff, but I mean, have I done it a handful of times? Yeah. But
Yeah.
I don't want to be doing that. I'm way too pretty for that, right, Allie?
Yes, exactly, John. Yeah.
Thank you.
Put it up into words. Yes.
I needed that reassurance today.
We all do. We all do. All right. Here we go. Hot take number 3. Comfort is death. If you're satisfied with where you are, someone hungrier is already closing in on your market.
100% agree.
Oof. Why?
Because when you get comfortable, you get lazy, you don't evolve, you don't keep with the times, you don't look into new things, you don't learn new tactics. You are literally just I mean, all these guys right now in my market, I'm sure Brian, yours is the same way, but you know, these guys that are relying on word of mouth to get every ounce of business that they get, they're not going to be around in another 10 years. I mean, will they still get some? Absolutely. But is it something that I would like bet all the chips on? No, not at all. Like you need to have an online presence. You need to keep up with changes in the industry. You need to be on top of new technologies because that stuff is evolving faster than anybody in this space ever could.
Absolutely. What are you thinking, Brian?
Yeah, I agree. That statement, we've always done it like this, is the death of every process and company out there. It's why we don't do carbon copy contracts anymore. I mean, when's the last time you actually filled out a contract on paper, John? I mean, it's just ridiculous to think about now. But when digital and e-signing and DocuSign came out, you're like, no one's going to adapt to that. That's too clunky. That's too technically challenging for my older customers. And now it's like, you, I haven't even met like most of the customers I've ever done a roof replacement for. And everything's digital and everyone's working from remote somewhere. And they're just like, cool, here's our color. And then we'll just send you the money. And, that's it. So if you're not willing to adapt and be open to seeing the possibility for problems you're having now that can be solved by something like AI or a virtual assistant like we are just talking about, then you're going to be stuck doing all those things forever the slow way. So, but yeah, there's always going to be somebody hungry or behind you taking up whatever's left behind.
And what do you think about that? Because I have a contractor in mind too. When I was chatting with him about kind of his goals for the upcoming season, he really didn't seem too like he didn't care about scaling. He was really happy at 4 million. His life was good. Everything's kind of on autopilot. And so anytime we talked about scaling or growth, it wasn't really something that enticed him or excited him. But when we hung up the phone, I kind of unpacked that conversation a bit and I started to wonder, is his like lack of desire to scale, is it really just that? Or is it like imposter syndrome? Is it the idea that if he did scale, would he be able to handle all that came with? And I just wonder, like, do you guys typically see like the reason for contractors not scaling? Is it a lack of desire or is it an like over amount of self-doubt, if that makes sense? What do you guys
Go,
think?
John.
Scaling and comfort, I mean, I don't think that they always have to go hand in hand with each other, right? I mean, if you're like an owner operator, like that is the absolute like most comfortable you'll ever get because like I don't know, things are just so much simpler, you know? You don't have to worry about like all the different things and all the different moving parts whenever you have multiple crews and multiple salespeople and you have to worry about production issues and permitting issues and sales. Like there's just a lot of moving parts the bigger and bigger you get. Where, if you're owner operator and you have no desire to scale, it doesn't mean that you have to be comfortable in that. You can still like keep up with current technologies. You can, scale in other sort of ways other than the revenue side, you know? And
More personal development, perhaps, is what you're saying?
absolutely.
I like it.
Brian, what say you, sir?
I yeah, I think it's personal preference, but also if you're not the type of person that is into challenging yourself or into challenging your personal comfort zones, and then there's no growth, there's no anything beyond that. I mean, I think about like my life before I became a parent. I was like, this is so easy. This is awesome. I'm never going to be unhappy. And then it was like, what if I had kids? And I'm like, I don't want to have kids. That's going to be too hard. And then I had 4 kids. And now I'm like, everyone's like, oh my God, you got your hands full. I'm just like, no, not really. I got it figured out. It was challenging at first, but I read some books and just tried. And now my kids are awesome. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that's not the greatest example, but
Oh,
everybody has their own channel or their level of comfort that they're willing to challenge. But people get to sweet spots. They're like, man, they look around, they're like, oh, this is sweet. But then there's like more stairs to climb, and you could do that if you wanted to. But if it's not your thing, then that's okay. There's places for businesses that size too.
I guess I need to fish out which one it is first and confirm. If it really is just a comfort thing, then let it be that. If it's a fear-based, reaction, then I think maybe as a friend we have some unpacking to do. So I appreciate that feedback.
Yeah.
The longer you wait to switch your CRM, the harder it gets. What do you guys think about that one?
I mean, I think it has more to do with like size, scale, like how many customers you actually have in your database and things like all your. But then on top of that, I mean, there's seasonality where it may make sense to do during one part of the year, but would be an absolutely horrid idea to do it another time of the year, right? But I mean, whenever it comes to switching a CRM, like you have to really have a reason to switch a CRM, and hopefully, I mean, everybody that listens to this is already on a CRM that, does everything they needed to do. Like, I mean, I know that I am toot toot, but I don't ever want to go through it again personally. But if something better came along, I'd be like, all right, well, what am I really missing? And is it really worth, the potential, going through these issues and making that switch? And if the pros outweigh the cons, then, I mean, you really have to figure out when the best timing for making that switch should be.
absolutely. What do you think,
Yeah,
Brian?
I think the longer the wait, the more it's going to cost you too. Because if you have 10,000 customers or whatever, you're going to have to send those tasks of converting from one to another to somebody to pay them to do that. But I also think it speaks to your awareness of how you're using your CRM and how efficiently it's achieving tasks and continuing to drive revenue for the company. I was with Builder Trend when I first started, and then it was like $700 a month, and it was like wasn't really that busy. I was just doing like handyman stuff, but I was like, when I get to a level, this is the CRM I want to use. Builder Trend's awesome, and it is a great software. It's more for like home builders, but I got to the point where I was like, I'm just going to be like one or two trades. I don't. The customer doesn't really use the customer facing portal part of it because it basically generates a web page for the customer, and they can go look at the photos and documents and look at all the communication and stuff. It's like, man, this is like way too much. If I was building a house or like remodeling a master bathroom, it might make more sense. So I canceled that, went back to my spreadsheets and formulas and stuff that I did on Excel to generate estimates. And then I waited, and then I started listening to John and Dave on the Roofer Show, and then John was talking about ProLine, and I'm like, oh, that kind of makes sense. So I just waited and waited. And then when it launched into a CRM, I was like, oh, here we go. This is because it just makes more sense to use 100% of the CRM rather than 40 or 50%. So as long as you're aware of what the CRM can do that the current one you have is not doing, and it's going to benefit the company, then yeah, I would do it as soon as possible. But yeah, like John said, don't do it in the spring or busy season. I would probably wait till, after Thanksgiving break or when winter hits your town and there's no activity.
Awesome. Well, for any of my participants that are hanging out with us here, if you do have any questions about your business, please pop them into the Q&A here. We do like answering questions a lot more when they're live and at our door here. And it doesn't have to be about the things that we're talking about now. It can be about any part of your business, any questions. Really, it's really wide open. So get in there if you have something. All right, we're going back to marketing. Are you ready? Just because you can put a roof on in a day, it doesn't mean you should expect your marketing to work in a day.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, of course. That's marketing is farming. You're just planting seeds and reminders and hey, we're going to be here. And that's all it is. It's not, there isn't one last billboard that you can put up and then that's it. It's a constant thing.
Do you think people expect just much more immediate gratification when they're paying some of these larger companies to take it over for them?
Yeah, it might be kind of their fault if they expect that.
Yeah.
Comes down to like an educational thing there.
What are you thinking, John?
I mean, I guess it depends on which channel we're talking about here.
Yeah.
If I launch a Facebook ad, I'm going to expect a return pretty quickly, like within a day or two. Absolutely. If I turn on local service ads, I should be getting a lead the day that I turn it on. If I'm going out and knocking doors for, like I'm not going to go the heck home until I, have something to write home about. Um, but then there's other marketing avenues like SEO. There's other things like direct mail, um, the truck wraps, like those aren't going to provide an immediate return right away. No, but depends on the channel.
Yeah. Okay. Makes
That's
sense.
kind of a boring answer, wasn't it? How would you spice that up, Allie?
It's kind of a boring question, truthfully. I mean, it goes either way. I mean, I kind of had the same thought. I'm like, I mean, if I'm paying money for an ad and the ad never existed and I'm putting it in front of a bunch of homeowners, like somebody better come through. But also, like, I don't know.
100%.
Right. I don't know. I go back and forth too. Recruiting isn't an HR problem, it's a marketing problem. What marketing channels are your go-to channels for immediate results? I had a question from our audience too.
Ooh. Well, I mean, literally, I mean, I did say Meta, Facebook. Um, those, like, I don't care what anybody says, like, you don't need to build up. The only thing you need to do on there is just have a really, really good call to action, like something that's going to grab people's attention and pull them in just long enough that they want to click on your ad. And if you do that really, really well, you can expect an immediate return from that. Now, just because you get a lead from it doesn't mean that's gonna turn into an opportunity to, get business from it. But, that's one thing that a lot of people are like looking at, like, man, we guarantee X amount of leads and stuff, right? Leads are no good if you don't get in front of the person. So
Yeah.
you need to have like ads that are directed at the right audience that, put people in front of you with a really, really high intent to buy, or
Yeah.
have a really, really high intent that they actually need to do something about their situation. And, if you have an ad that you've created that checks those boxes, like, yeah, you're going to see something really, really quickly from that.
What emotion do you think elicits like the most conversions? Is it when you throw them something funny and they laugh and they click on it? Is it kind of the fear based, like, I mean, like water comes into your home type of advertisement? What feeling or what converts the most in your experience?
So if your intent is just to grow an audience and stuff, yeah, the funny stuff absolutely brings people in and like gets people clicking and liking and following your page, which is great. Because then all your organic reach is going to have like a wider breadth to kind of like cast a net on. But security companies like ADT, like they sell on fear, right? Um, and, and believe it or not, I mean, that's still a really, really good tactic today. So it's either like fear or like transparent pricing or something like that. Like I know everybody bashes the ads or like new roof for $3,000 and stuff, but like people are like, oh crap, I can get a roof for that. Nobody can buy a roof that cheap. But I mean, unless it's like a shed or like a doghouse or something. But the thing is though, is like people want their money to go as far as it possibly can. So if you just want leads, like those low price offers are going to get you plenty of leads. The intent is going to be really low, but the leads are going to be there and you'll probably still end up converting a few of them things. But if if you're trying to grow an audience, I mean, funny stuff works, educational stuff works. Showing that you're the expert in things. Like one that we're having a lot of like viewership on right now is just like a shingle comparison. Like we compare the top 5 shingle brands and people are like eating that up. Like we've gained a bunch of followers from that. So um that's all that I'll chime in on. Brian, what say you?
I think you need to have 3 things in your ad. Like, just use the Meta ad, for example, John. Do not say things like, "Get a new roof for $59.97," or, a new roof for as little as $1 or something like that. It's everybody knows that's garbage. So the 3 things you should have are the problem that the customer has already, a solution that you have that's unique to you, and then the call to action. So for here in Denver, it's springtime. We may get a storm. We probably will. Hopefully, I did put in 2 orders for hailstorms last night, so they cleared my bank account, so they should be coming soon. And the problem is, okay, it should be like unsure or confused as to what to do when a hailstorm hits your roof. Okay, there's a problem. I'm confused. I have no idea what to do. The solution is we have a guide or a checklist on our website. It includes many of the national carriers, the claim numbers, and what to do. When the hail hits your house, go to our website for the free download. So you're addressing the problem, you have the solution, and then the call to action, and then you're getting them off of that platform and onto your website, and then you can get more. Adam Benjamin calls them like tripwire. Like they do this one thing and then act now. You can get this. It's kind of like that, but not so gimmicky. So that's what I've seen that has worked a lot. And you can test different methods and different things in your market. Like you can do the humorous ones for brand awareness. You can do seasonal stuff, roof inspections before the snow comes or whatever. Get your gutters cleaned out while we, seal up all the pipe jacks or something like that. Go to our website to fill out a form. So I would try those things, problem, solution, call to action.
Yeah, I like it.
So
I saw one company
Carlos
that
asked for an example, right?
yeah.
So one that's been working pretty well for us is like we've been running an ad that says like I'll give you 2. One we're doing like free roof repairs up to $350, right? We don't do repairs for $350. Like our repair costs are higher than that. But it gets you in front of somebody and if it's just something simple like one of our inspectors goes out and just needs to put some sealant around like an exposed fastener or like a shingle that's not laying down or whatever, we can go out there and do that and keep them in our system and like potentially provide them with a free repair. Or our hope with that whole ad is just that like, we get out there on a 15-plus-year-old roof that really needs to be replaced where they had repair in their mind. But before we leave, if we do our job, they're really only wanting a replacement, right? Another one that works really, really well for us is we're advertising like discounts for metal roofing if they agree to like allow us to do like a video showcase of that finished product or the process of actually installing that and things, because video is absolutely huge. It's a way to grow your following, your exposure, like your online visibility. So the more opportunities that we have to kind of like get out there in front of people that and give them a forever roof system, I mean, yeah, I'll give them a little bit of a marketing discount for that. I mean, we're a retail company anyway. I mean, like if we give them like $500 off of their metal roof, but that, you know, one customer and the content that we create from that customer leads into us getting another 5 or 10 metal roofs. Like what's $500? It's not anything.
No, I like it. Those are great examples. Carlos, if you have another question or if you wanted them to give you like an example around a specific pain point or, new feature that you're adding to your company, just hit us with a little follow-up question there. Maybe they can kind of workshop something around that.
Or a
But
big one.
do what?
Or a big follow-up question.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Or a huge follow-up question. Yeah, we don't care.
Mm.
All right, we'll do one more hot take though. Poor leaders end up with all poor employees. Good leaders end up with all the good ones. So the hot take here is essentially saying High performers can work anywhere.
High performers can work anywhere. Okay.
I'm just gonna bring to light an example of like what I'm kind of dealing with right now, right? I have a really high performer. He closed almost $4 million worth of business last year on his own. He's very resistant to change. And like, I love the guy to death. Like, he's like my little brother, you know? I probably let him get away with more than what I should. I probably tolerate more than what I should. And like, whenever I push back on like not tolerating that, he doesn't like it. So but anyway, could that high performer then go work for another roofing company and be just as successful and feel that like they're going to tolerate like his inability to kind of follow direction? I don't think that he would thrive in an environment like that. So typically, if you get a high performer leaving one company to go to another, I think you're going to end up kind of feeling that you were fed a lie or like fed a story because you're adopting all of that high performers issues and their mentality and their attitude towards how they do things. And it's really hard to break somebody of that whenever they've been in the industry for as long as they have. Really, I mean, the best thing to do with new salespeople is make sure that they're a new salesperson with next to no experience whenever it comes to this trade, because you don't want them bringing bad habits with them.
Yeah, hard for them to unlearn when they've been rewarded for it previously. That makes sense. What do you think, Brian?
Yeah, I agreed. That's you're gonna get what you ask for and what you accept. So if you're willing to accept a little bit of disobedience and a little bit of juvenile behavior or whatever you have, then that's what you're going to get. But if you set the standard early and remind them and show them through leadership and examples, then that's what you'll get.
Absolutely. All right, fellas. Well, I'm not seeing anything in our Q&A box here. So that said, I'm down to end at 5 minutes early today. But thanks so much for you guys for hopping on. We're going to be right back at it next Monday at 4:30 to do it all again. So thank you guys for coming, and for our attendees, thank you as well. We'll see you guys next week.